Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. So, the SNP government have passed the budget requirement of increasing the minimum unit price of alcohol. It's gone up by 30% from 50 pence to 65 pence per unit. This increases the price of alcohol significantly in Scotland, as well as on top of inflation as well. It means that alcohol is increasingly becoming the privilege of the wealthy. Most people will find that they will be priced out of enjoying a good little drink, of bottle of wine, a few beers, things like that. They're saying, of course, it's for tackling the issue of problem drinking, but it does no such thing. Problem drinkers will continue to drink. It just means now they'll pay more, which means their families will have less money to feed children with. Or there'll be an increase in shoplifting, which is not even punishable anymore in Humza Yousaf's brave new Scotland. So what's to happen? Rather than tackling problem drinkers, which is hard, they're punishing everybody, which is easy. It won't achieve what they want. It makes everything worse, and it will drive more people into the hands of those who sell alternative products. The corner boys. You know, their little 1 gram baggies and things like that. Because people need a release, and when it's cheaper to go and buy that kind of product than it is to buy a legitimate product like alcohol, you know you've got a problem in Scotland. Problem caused, of course, by the SNP government. But we'll take a look at this to see why Scotland just keeps getting worse and worse under these people who really don't like alcohol, and I think effectively are trying to ban alcohol. Can't imagine why Humza Yousaf wants to effectively ban alcohol in Scotland. Perhaps his friends don't like it. Who knows? Let's take a look. So, booze prices to skyrocket in Scotland as the SNP punishes responsible drinkers. And this is the problem. Yes, you have problem drinkers, and then you have normal people. Now, if my neighbour was to go drink driving, I wouldn't lose my licence. But that's effectively what they're doing in Scotland. My neighbour drink drives and they take my licence away. Why am I being punished because someone else can't handle drink? Well, it's easy just to put the taxes up because tackling an actual problem is hard, especially when you've got people as stupid as those in the SNP government. They don't understand issues. They're very, very stupid people, and they daren't listen to experts because experts will tell them things that they don't want to hear because they have in their mind their worldview, which is completely wrong worldview. But an expert will tell them something else, and it means that they have to change how they think, and they don't like doing that. And so they just punish everybody. It's fine, then everybody has to suffer. And it's just also the little bonus, of course, for them is it increases misery and reduces wealth. So, double win, really, isn't it? Scots who enjoy a tipple are set to be battered by a 30% rise in the price of alcohol, thanks to the Scottish Government hiking up the minimum unit pricing. Now, all this does, it doesn't raise any taxes, of course. What it does is it makes supermarkets much better off. Because that minimum unit price just gets added on, of course, to the cost of wines, beers and spirits in a supermarket. They benefit, they love it. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if the supermarkets were lobbying for it, because the more that goes up, the more profit they make. Lovely. If you really want to make a profit now, I would suggest anyone needs to go open up a big booze warehouse just south of the border in England, and have a big car park and have the vans lining up. All these white vans flying down from Scotland into, Foxy's big beer booze warehouse. I might start one up. I won't. But somebody will. Somebody will have the old south of the border, beer warehouse open, and the Scots come down, fill up, go home. Effectively make a killing, wouldn't you? Anyway, booze prices in Scotland are set to skyrocket by 30% after the SNP's proposals to hike up the minimum unit price were passed by MSPs. The Nationalist government were accused of punishing responsible drinkers as they face forking out more cash for a tipple from the end of September. And of course, as I say, for the problem drinkers, it won't be an issue. They'll either steal the stuff and the police won't investigate, or they'll just carry on paying for it, but that'll leave even less money in the family budget every week, and so children will go hungry, just so daddy or mummy can throw some booze down their neck. Currently, there is a 50p minimum price on every unit of alcohol, but this is being pushed up to 65p in a bid to curb booze-related deaths in Scotland. However, there are concerns about the effectiveness of this policy, as fatalities related to drinking increased to the highest level since 2008 in 2022, with 1,276 linked to alcohol abuse. So they brought this rule in. Oh, look, if we put this price up, it'll cut down on deaths, it'll make life better. And in fact, it's had no effect whatsoever. And indeed, at the same time, not only have booze deaths gone up, but other substance abuse related deaths have gone up because people who can't afford the booze are turning to other substances. And yet they would have been told all these things, of course, because, you know, anyone with a modicum of intelligence can see the consequences of what they're doing. And surely they must have wonks and spads and whatever telling them, look, you know, this is what's going to happen. And so they know. The trouble with the SNP is they cannot ever be wrong. Once they've announced a policy and people say to them, no, it's madness, it's wrong, it's going to fail, they go, yes, but we've announced it, we can't go back now. Otherwise we'll look like complete morons. Ship sailed on that one, hasn't it? Analysis from Public Health Scotland concluded that these would be higher if minimum unit prices didn't exist, but this was done through counterfactual studies, i.e. ones that estimated deaths based in England, which does not have the same policy. A total of 40 separate studies were undertaken, but only a couple said it had any impact on the crisis. And let's actually say and clarify that. Of the 40 studies shown, 38 said it had no impact whatsoever. One said it may have a small effect, and one said it may have an effect. Not one of them said conclusively it did help. But they're snatching on the two that said it may help and saying that that's the answer. No, that's not how science works. Okay, that's not how it works. The report acknowledged there was limited evidence to suggest that the minimum unit price was effective in reducing consumption for those people with alcohol dependence. It has done nothing of the sort. Alcoholics will drink. End of story. It doesn't matter. They have to steal, beg, borrow. Does not matter. They will get their booze. Despite this, the minimum price of a 4-pack of beers, a bottle of whiskey or vodka and cider will now skyrocket from September the 30th. And I've got to go and answer the door. I'll return. Sorry about the little gap there. My sister came to the door to drop her dog off, so I'm dog sitting today. Anyway, where were we? Yes. Right, the Scottish Government proposals were approved after being backed by 88 votes to 28. This means the minimum price for a bottle of vodka will rise from £13.13 to £17.06. And a can of lager will go up from at least £1 to £1.30. I think anyone can see there's going to be an awful lot of bootlegging. And look, there's the various prices. I won't go through them, but I'll just go up them slowly. You can always pause the video if you want to see. This is a ridiculous amount of money. And this is all because you've got these Puritans that think that, it's a mix, isn't it? You're going to have the Puritans who think, oh, people shouldn't drink, it's terrible, blah, 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 generally. You're going to get the ones that say, yes, we need to address the problem drinkers, but we don't know how to do it, so we'll just punish everyone. You're going to get the ones that are thinking, but my religion does not like alcohol, let's stop that. And you're going to get the ones that say, well, people enjoy a drink, and we don't like people being happy. That's who you're voting in. So if you're an SNP supporter who likes a drink, just think, you've done this to yourself. Well done. Well done, you. You keep voting for the SNP, and your life keeps getting a little bit shitter because you keep voting for the SNP. You'll never learn, will you? Coming up. So there you go. You have your choice. You can vote SNP and be miserable, or you can vote otherwise and not be miserable. If you like a drink and you're an SNP supporter, you've just voted yourself into poverty, and you keep doing it. And you will. And they don't think this will be the end of it. They'll put it up again next year, and then again and again. And the plan is to make sure that there is no alcohol at all in Scotland. Ultimately, I think, so that the new Scots, when they come in, won't be insulted by being in a country that has alcohol in it, because not what they like, is it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.